big, beautiful bill as lawmakers attempt to pass it by the president's 4th of July deadline. Senate approving an amendment this morning to remove a part of the bill that would have banned states from regulating AI for 10 years.
On this vote, the yeas are 99. The nays are 1. The amendment is agreed to.
No word on when a final vote on the entire package will take place. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill will add over $3 trillion to the national debt. Brian Kohberger, who's accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students, has reportedly agreed to plead guilty to avoid the death penalty. Fox's Jeff Paul.
The families of all 4 victims who were killed are aware of this plea deal. But according to the Kaylee Gonzalez family Facebook page, they confirm it's true, but added they are beyond furious at the state of Idaho, saying they have failed us. Now, Kohberger was accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students back in November of 2022. They were Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Gernodal, and Ethan Chapin. Now, Kohberger came into the picture after investigators received hundreds of tips, one of them being that a particular car had been spotted near the scene through security camera footage.
Kohberger would face life in prison as part of the plea deal. Also in Idaho, we're learning more about the man who started the wildfire and fatally shot 2 firefighters and wounded another in the northern part of the state. Police say 20-year-old Wes Rowley was a transient who was living out of his vehicle and had once aspired to become a firefighter himself. Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris says they have not uncovered any kind of manifesto from the suspect in that confrontation at Canfield Mountain, just north of Coeur d'Alene. They say that Rowley opened fire on the firefighters before taking his own life. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A stabbing at the city-county building. Light rain on radar, 70 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 84 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Blood and yellow crime scene tape surrounded the transit center in downtown Indianapolis around 6:30 last night. That's what people who were stepping off of buses saw as a man stabbed multiple times at the city-county building, hobbled and collapsed at the transit center in a pool of his own blood. He's in critical condition this morning, and police are still looking into this. The Justice Department says it has uncovered the biggest healthcare fraud case ever involving billions of dollars in false claims. Here's Jake McDaniel.
More than 300 people were charged in this whole feud, including at least 90 doctors and nurses. Some of them were even accused of diverting meds. At least a dozen of those charged are in Indiana. That includes Rachel Goldstein from Jeffersonville, who was accused of faking pet prescriptions for opioids. Then there's a pharmacist in Noblesville named Evelyn who was accused of stealing and selling 500,000 opioids on the black market. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Wilson Chavez is an illegal immigrant who was in Terra Haute on a work trip with his co-worker, Jamie Munoz. The men had traveled from Dallas, Texas in May and were staying at the Candlewood Suites. Emergency dispatchers say they began receiving calls from the hotel's front desk reporting gunshots, possibly from the 5th floor. When the police arrived, they entered room 523, and that's where they found Munoz, who had been shot multiple times. During the investigation, police discovered that Chavez tried to reposition Munoz's body to confuse them. That attempt failed. He was arrested and charged with murder. On Monday, he appeared in court and pleaded not guilty. If the 8-8 Indiana Fever are going to bring home the WNBA Commissioner's Cup tonight, they're going to have to knock off the 14-2 Minnesota Lynx. Fever forward Aaliyah Boston says playing a team like Minnesota provides a good opportunity.
They're a great team. So for us, we've had some ups and downs throughout the season already with some games, and so it's making sure that, listen, when you come out here, you have to be ready to go because Minnesota's that team that you have to make sure you're ready from the jump.
And the winning team gets $500,000 tip-off at 8 o'clock. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go, and at WIBC.com, traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis' leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
When you wake up,
You understand this is about money. 1,000%. They started this.
when you work,
As long as the category was all Bruce Springsteen all the time.
I told you I think I could win a game of Jeopardy. I could not go on a run.
when you drive home,
Is it time to try something new, you think? Because it hasn't worked, and maybe try something new.
traffic when you need it,
Stopped on 465 again.
and updates all the time.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go.
Stay in the know wherever you go with 93 WIBC.
Okay, Siders crash on the exit ramp from eastbound 72 Rural Street. Ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. And southbound 65 on the south side slows after Raymond Street to South Keystone Avenue because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, Craig, good morning. We do have some showers here to start things off for your Tuesday. Not an all-day thing. In fact, given another couple of hours, we'll start to dry out. I think we'll turn partly cloudy. Most importantly, the humidity will drop significantly this afternoon. Today's high up to 85. We're mostly clear, very comfortable overnight, a low down to 65. Wednesday, mostly sunny, warm, but again, the humidity not bad, a high of 86. Thursday, sunny, warmer, a high of 88. And the 4th of July on Friday, I'm going to keep dry, but it will be hot and a bit more humid. Friday's high around 90.
Thank you very much, Marcus. 6:07 Tuesday morning. Tony Capps, the morning news. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. So much stuff out there to talk about. Let's do this first. I was debating which one I was going to do. That's why I did the extra pause there. Pride in being an American is at an all-time low if you're a Democrat. This is obviously because they lost the election, which is uniquely sad. I will say that first. You shouldn't be proud of being from this country or, live in this country or a citizen of this country simply because the person you wanted to win the election won the election. And Republicans are really good at this, by the way. Over the last 25 years, Republicans have stated about 85 or so % as far as the amount of us who are proud, very proud, or extremely proud to be an American. That's even when broken brain Biden was in office, because you understood that being a part of this country was about more than just being proud of who's in the White House or wanting that person desperately to be out of the White House ASAP because his brain didn't work. But nonetheless, Democrats, not the same. They, at one point in the early 2000s, of course, this would be after the attacks on September 11th, about 87% of Democrats were proud to be Americans. That number is down to 36% now. And independents, it's actually almost as bad. 84% back in the early 2000s to 53% now. There's one other caveat to this information because it went viral yesterday. It was a Gallup poll, and a bunch of people were sharing it all over social media. There's one other caveat to this. Young people are uniquely not proud to be Americans in the lower 40% anytime it's tested. And this isn't millennials. This is Gen Z. So they've only had about 2 different, years there in which they would be relevant to presidential elections. But nonetheless, it's sort of amazing to see this because this might be at the heart of a lot of our issues that we have, or a lot of the disagreements that exist within the United States politically, because there's a lot of people who at the door say they're not happy to be from this country, or they don't think the rights and the things that they have inherently by being American are good enough. And I would say to them, the door's there. Go ahead and check out. Go ahead and go wherever you'd like to go and see if things get much better wherever it is that you think, things are improved upon compared to here. But nonetheless, as I said, this Gallup poll went very viral. A whole lot of people reacting to it, and I just think it's uniquely sad. Other things out there, well, and maybe stronger words than sad, but I'll go with sad right now, this early in the morning. I thought this was interesting. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, I would like Jerome Powell to definitely quit, or we should fire him. I really think that Jerome Powell has been very terrible at his job, especially while Trump has been in office. So I do like the End the Fed campaign, as I think social media is calling it that. Here's a little bit of audio.
The one problem that remains is high interest rates for the American people. The American people want to borrow money cheaply, and they should be able to do that. But unfortunately, we have interest rates that are still too high. So the president sent this note to the Fed chair today.
So the note also shared on Truth Social lists other countries' rates and points to the U.S. in the 35th spot. Trump leaving a stern message to Powell saying, quote, Jerome, you are as usual too late. You have cost the U.S. a fortune, and you continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot.
Yeah.
Hundreds of billions of dollars being lost, no inflation. The president also indicating on the list where the U.S. rate should be.
That, by the way, that extended coverage was from Fox News. And absolutely, I agree with this, and I love this. And it's kind of hilarious that there's this giant page of paper with Jerome written at the top of it. You're late again. You're doing terrible things. Why is the United States so far down this list of world central bank rates? And why are you still refusing to change it? And it's political in nature. You want me, the president of the United States, to not have as successful of an economy as I should have if these rates would go down, because everything else that's happening right now in the United States is actually pretty good. The stock market had a uniquely good day very recently. All right, I will take a break. A lot to talk about, a lot of fun to have, hopefully, on a Tuesday. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Gary Dick. An Indiana hospital makes cuts at 6:32. Nominations are now open for IBJ's Women of Influence Awards. Submit your nomination by August 1st at IBJ.com. Then join us in October to honor the class of 2025.
Home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes, if improperly marketed, are sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. The expert realtor I recommend is Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Luke and Emma in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Dietl. We found the perfect piece of land and began building our new dream home, but we needed to sell our old place at the right price to fund the dream. We hired the Mark Dietl team and got multiple offers in the first weekend, closed in 25 days, and they negotiated for us to stay while we completed our new place. Selling was stress-free and profitable with Mark Dietl. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Feeling like you've lost a step? You're not alone. After 35, most men start losing free testosterone, the hormone that helps you stay lean, strong, and energized. But now there's a game-changing solution. Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster from the #1 brand in America. Nugenix Total T2 is packed with even more man-boosting power, and it works fast. With a powerful nitric oxide booster, it sends your energy and performance levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. That's right, just 3 hours to start feeling like your old self again. For a limited time, you can try it for yourself absolutely free. Text now to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC. But that's not all. When you send us a text, we'll also include a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever. Feel stronger, leaner, more driven. Text CASH to 369-369 now. That's CASH to 369-369. Text CASH to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, we have a ramp that's shut down on the east side. It's eastbound 70 going to Keystone Avenue. That exit ramp is closed because of a crash. Southbound 65 a little bit slow coming out of the south split right now through that construction zone from Raymond Street to South Keystone Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com now. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm early on in the day today, and then actually throughout the day again. It looks like there's a chance of rain and other things. High of 86, right now 73 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
And I'm proud to be an American.
There we go. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. That's a reference to the stat I was talking about earlier, the Gallup poll that said a whole lot of Democrats not proud to be Americans. And the door is a whole lot of places if they want to check out. All right, I'm going to play some audio. This audio is of an AI band that has 500,000 monthly Spotify listens. I don't know why this band is so successful. The fake band is called the Velvet Sundown, and the artificially intelligence created songs all have very similar names. There's like an Echo Through the Pine song, then Floating on the Echoes, Dust on the Wind Still Knows Your Name, Dust and Silence, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. But this is a fake band that is doing quite well that, you know, the computers created, and I'm not sure I'm happy about this.
Floyd. Come on.
Yelling out. Come on, dude.
Yeah, that's Pink Floyd.
No, it's not. It's I know. Yeah. It's very sad though, dude. Like this is artificial intelligence created band that's doing well. That sounds like a real thing. Here we can do some more.
Marching goes with no command.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
What do you think of this, though? Like, honestly, like it sounds like a real band, of course. So what are our thoughts?
I think it's trash and I hate it. This reminds me of the old 90s argument we had about bands selling out and how music isn't as good as it used to be. Well, it's definitely not as good as it used to be because we don't have musicians officially. People were like when I was a kid, I remember Taylor Swift would have been popular back in the 90s. People would have been like, oh, she doesn't play enough instruments. So she's not a true musician. And in the meantime, she's a hell of a performer. Whatever else is whatever else. We get what we pay for because now there aren't musicians. Now it's all computer generated. And I didn't... I almost said I didn't think that was that good, but if I didn't know it was AI, I probably would have given it a listen. That's the thing that really bothers me. All these musicians and artists, and here comes the age-old argument, aren't getting paid, aren't getting their opportunities because of whatever technology is out there. It used to be auto-tuning, the thing that makes you sound like, oh, yeah.
That makes me sound good.
Exactly. It was a horrible example I just gave. But that old argument has officially come to fruition that now musicians are really being weeded out of the performance.
I have to be honest, though. I think the one thing, whenever people talk about how, like, AI is going to replace this and that, there wouldn't be a human component or a human touch to it that obviously would eventually impact them, meaning they couldn't play live. The AI band would be successful, but would never be capable of playing live if it was a secret, if they didn't want to tell us that this wasn't, real people. And then if you ever had, like, fake people pretend to be the real people and lip sync the whole thing, I think eventually we'd figure it out. But I feel like that's the next step, is the only way for this stuff to actually truly impact our society beyond just being annoying on social media is for them to somehow mimic the one part that they can't do. There's radio hosts that are afraid that, like, AI is going to take over their job, but the radio host could never interact with anybody in real life. Or even, I don't think it could even, like, truly take a phone call live on the air and do well in that environment. Although, who knows? Maybe the technology will be there eventually. So I think that's going to always be the problem, is that eventually we'll figure out that they're fake. And once we know they're fake, we'll all be as mad as Matt just got, knowing going in that it was a fake band, because it's a trick. It's not real. We want real humans. We don't want fake, computer humans to be ones entertaining us, no matter how good they are at the job.
Well, this is a really cool radio station because our guys still do appearances and go to places, and they love doing it. It's fun to I've seen a couple of them, and they have so much passion about meeting the fans. But I know for a fact, and I won't get into the weeds here, there are a lot of radio stations that don't do that anymore.
They do not.
And whether or not a radio has been surviving with or without that is a whole other argument. But the fact is, you make a solid, excellent point about not being able to actually be the person and to go see your people, the people that are paying your bills and making you money. But you also said it were the inevitable, and I hate slippery slope arguments, I really do, but this is one that has a little validity in the fact that, if you can generate the AI, and you've already seen AI images and concerts, like I know it's so expensive, but these major super concerts, whether it's the Super Bowl or something else, you can get those AI-generated images of that artist that's long past, and it's not going to be before too long where you can put the whole band. It's actually going to look like the real thing, and they're going to be reaching out. Maybe some sort of generated crowd surfing. I know it sounds bizarre, but it is so possible. It is so coming.
Yeah, it's so coming, and it's going to make us mad when inevitably we find out that, like, this thing isn't real or that thing isn't real, and been making tons of our money by pretending it's real and creating it with the robots. Yeah, it's very sad. We're all screwed, I think, is the beginning of the show.
But this is what we wanted, so here it comes. I mean, this is what we pay for, and this is our reward now. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. It's our fault, people. All right, I have another thing out there. I do like this a lot. Are you cool is a simple question that people were asking online. And I think the New York Times and other places tried to use a different set of studies to claim these are the 6 things that make you cool or not cool. And we can go down the list and see if we are, in fact, cool people on the show today, if you'd like. Is this something we want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. More good news. Yeah.
Number 1, are you extroverted?
Oh, wow. What? No, let's just say no. I'm not.
Then you're not cool. You've already lost, Matt. You're officially not cool.
I'm going home to my AI-generated girlfriend.
Yeah. Carl, are you extroverted?
I think so. I mean,
Okay,
you
all
have
right.
to be,
You're
you have
very-
to
you're
be
very
extroverted to be on
extroverted.
the radio. You can't
Same.
be introverted, otherwise there'd be silence.
Well, Rush
Well,
Limbaugh
you know
was
what?
introverted, though.
I would disagree with that because I've known radio people who on the air are a totally different person than after they turn the microphone off. Like there was one guy I worked with in Chicago who was the quietest, shyest dude and just like would walk around barely nodding his head at anybody. You'd have no idea this guy was a radio host if you met him in real life, and then turn the microphone on and he became a different person. And then as soon as the microphone went back off, he'd like read his book again and be in silence for 25 minutes. It was crazy. The dude was nuts. Anyway, I don't want to break bad anymore on that dude. Number
I was
two.
enjoying that, really.
Yeah. Number 2 on the list of things. We'll try to do these quickly because I know I got a break coming up. Adventurous. Are you adventurous? Yes or no?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you're cool. Now you're getting into the cool. Are you open? Are you open-minded to new things, new thoughts, new experiences?
Very, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, cool again.
That's 2 for 1. Here we
Here's
go.
the weirdest one that's on this list. Are you hedonistic?
I've always wanted to be, but I just can't pull it off, you know.
You're not
okay.
cool.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right, yeah.
Come on.
I think this might be the one where a lot of us lose on this situation, but they say this is a trait that you need in some capacity to be cool. And then are you also powerful? Is that something you are? Either in your personality?
That's relative. Yeah. Come on. I mean, the answer's no, but as I try to worm my way around this, it's
then we fail.
No. Why is that cool being powerful? I don't know. Some of the most powerful people in the world are the most unhip, uncool people I've ever seen on TV. So no, that one's out. Yeah.
I'd say, all right, fair enough. But from afar, I guess we might think of these things as cool, even though they might not be, as you just said. But yeah, so we all failed this test. None of us are cool. That's not good. All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
I'm at least happy, though.
Consider that the fact that this story came from the New York Times, right?
Sure.
And if you read the New York Times, you're not cool.
Yeah. You're not cool. The failing New York Times.
Man, sick.
Yeah, they got this wrong. Yeah, by the way, I am glad that on this radio show that my mom happens to listen to from time to time, I said I was not hedonistic. That would have been an awkward moment. All right. We'll take a break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, Morning News. 93 WIBC. Matt's got traffic.
We have construction at southbound 65 on the south side. Stop and go traffic from Raymond Street to South Keystone Avenue in the northbound side. Also a little bit slow in pockets like around South Keystone and Raymond. Again, that's a construction zone. Eastbound 70, there's a crash on the exit ramp to South Keystone Avenue. That's a double ramp there with the exit. You go to Rural, you go to Keystone. This one is the one to Keystone. That's shut down right now. That big, dangerous loop ramp you have coming off eastbound 70. Ramp closed because of a crash. No timetable on when it's going to reopen. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
And Nigel Show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Independence Week continues. Jeff Boggs will join us, and the biggest stories in Indy. 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell.
Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Lots of proposed changes to Trump's tax bill. You have a light rain on radar, 75 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. The Senate keeps voting on changes to the One Big Beautiful Bill while Republicans scramble to lock in support for their tax and spending plan.
The end is not in sight. They have voted on 28 amendments here in the past bit. Only two things of substance have they considered here. They voted twice against a plan to bar illegal immigrants from receiving Medicaid. You might remember that was a provision that was stricken from the bill by the Senate parliamentarian, the referee in these matters here. And also, the Senate has voted 99-1 to take out a provision imposing an AI moratorium by the states and local governments for the next decade. That was taken out. That's something that was not in the original House bill, and that's something that will satisfy the House of Representatives.
And that's Fox's Chad Pergram reporting. If you smoke cigarettes, today might be a good time to quit because the state's cigarette tax just doubled.
I just think it's another thing to screw over the middle class, the working people. I just think it's kind of wrong. We're already paying outrageous money for everything else.
Gage Hessman speaking with Wish TV. A survey shows nearly 15% of Hoosier adults smoke cigarettes. The jury in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs will continue to think about his future today in a New York City courtroom.
Following 5.5 hours of discussion Monday, the jury of 8 men and 4 women will have a full day to talk about the case. Combs faces 5 charges, 1 for racketeering and 2 counts each of sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, and transportation for prostitution. Not long after being given instructions Monday, the judge was given word that a juror had issues following them. A second note asked to clarify drug distribution legally as it relates to the racketeering count. Combs is facing up to life in prison should he be convicted. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Columbus Regional Health is planning to close its inpatient rehabilitation unit and outpatient orthopedics and sports medicine practice. That according to a notice filed with the state that says the move will result in the layoffs of 50 workers. Meantime, Evansville-based Deaconess Health is not planning to close 3 hospitals in Kentucky following speculation of potential issues that could be caused by legislation under debate in Congress. The health system confirmed to our partners at WEHT-TV that Deaconess Henderson, Deaconess Union County, and Baptist Health Deaconess Madisonville will all remain open. To the business of sports now, saying the demand for women's basketball has never been higher. The WNBA says it is expanding to 18 teams over the next 5 years, with Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia all set to join the league by 2030. Toronto and Portland will enter the league next year. All 3 new teams announced Monday have NBA ownership groups, each paid a $250 million expansion fee. The Fort Wayne Swimming and Wellness Alliance says it is nearing its $54 million fundraising goal to support the construction of the new Fort Wayne Aquatic Center. The nonprofit said Monday it has raised more than $47 million for the facility, which will house the pool used in the 2024 U.S. Olympic swim trials in Indianapolis. Alliance President John Gibson.
There's just not enough water space in this area of the state for swim lessons, therapy, aqua exercise, just all kinds of opportunities that are untouched right now in our area because there's no space to do them in.
From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Do you own an import-export business? If so, your company could save time and money with foreign trade zones. FTZs are designated sites across the United States where you can reduce, defer, and even eliminate import duties, helping you stay competitive in the global marketplace. If you're interested in becoming an FTZ, the Indianapolis Airport Authority can sponsor your application and start you on the path to savings, because smart companies get in the zone. Learn more at inzone.org.
Indiana's economy is on the move, and every region has a role to play. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business for the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're traveling to 10 regions across the state to spotlight business growth, workforce development, innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. Don't miss this front row look at Indiana's future and the growth opportunities in your region. Find out when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/innovate. Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister announced Monday it has completed a merger with a Florida-based litigation boutique. Taft is merging with Moranchek Law, an 18-lawyer trial team based in West Palm Beach and Stuart, Florida. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Ramp closed, Gary. This is on the east side. It's eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue. You know, it's two ramps at the eastbound 70 mile marker here. One to rural, one to Keystone. The one to rural is just fine. The one to Keystone is shut down because of a crash. Southbound 65 stop and go traffic after 21st Street to Meridian Penn. And we really jammed down around West Street. Keeping an eye on that, of course. Looking at southbound 65 south side stop and go traffic from Raymond Street down to South Keystone Avenue because of construction, and the northbound lane's a little slow right now because of construction in that same area. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road at North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely throughout the day today, starting at around 8 o'clock. Thunderstorms as well, potentially in the forecast. Cloudy, a high of 86 degrees today. 73 right now with some light rain in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC with sports. Ryan Hedrick.
Craig, good morning. The WNBA Commissioner's Cup is on the line tonight when the 8-8 Indiana Fever face the 14-2 Minnesota Lynx. And Fever forward Aaliyah Boston said Monday the prize money doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, that's the goal right here. I mean, when there's money on the line, what else are you looking at?
All right, so the total compensation to pay out is $500,000. Each player gets $30,000 if they win. Not a bad payday, right? Last night in Boston.
Sends this ball again to center field. Rafaela again in steep retreat, and that is gone. The hammer from Hayes straight away. Solo shot, his 7th of the year.
On the FanDuel Sports Network, Reds designated hitter Austin Hayes dials long distance, but that's really the only highlight the Reds had because they got blown out last night in Boston, 13-6. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911. Capability Now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
My sister's not breathing. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
love this. This is Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. We'll try to live up to the Rocky theme song coming in here. This is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Bunch of stuff to talk about. The big announcement yesterday that you probably heard about at some point in Indiana. 13 Indiana residents have been arrested and charged in what the FBI and U.S. Justice Department are calling the largest healthcare fraud investigation in DOJ history. 324 people were charged throughout the world. A lot of people seem to be from Russia and all kinds of other crazy places. 96 doctors, nurses, pharmacists, other licensed professionals within the United States are on this list. But as I said, 13 Hoosiers are in trouble for what is a whole crazy amount of things done. There's a black market opioid scam that was uncovered. Fake dogs used for vet prescriptions was a weird one that's in there. But honestly, as the big, beautiful bill is getting debated and the Senate is changing things and people are screaming from the rooftops that Medicare, Medicaid has to be protected at all costs, this feels like it's intentionally in the news, and the DOJ might be wrapping up its investigation right now for good reason, because it's demonstrating the problem part of this. Adding more hoops, adding more hurdles to jump in order to get free money from our government for your medical expenses seems to be a good thing when we're losing billions of dollars to fraud. $14.6 billion is the intended losses that were uncovered in this year's investigation. They do this every year, and they find tons and tons of fraud. And this is another reason why people don't love when you let the government handle things, because it always goes horribly. And this is yet another version of that. I think Dan Bongino even put up on social media yesterday how vigorously they will pursue all the bad actors in this world, and that results matter and talk is cheap. I think those were Bongino's exact words on social media. And so, yeah, I love every part of outing this sort of thing, but I think we have to make it harder to do this in the first place, and that is a component of the big, beautiful bill. And also, if you're an able-bodied, adult, you should get a job. That's a component of it. And a lot of Americans would agree with that if you were to know someone that is benefiting from a system and not attempting to get a gig, you should try to at least go out and get one and then have a job. And if that job doesn't pay you enough, sure, continue to benefit from social services. That's literally what Republicans are actually saying. I'm not saying that I love that plan, but that is actually the version of bill that's on the table, is that nothing goes away as long as you qualify for it with some additional hoops and hurdles. All right, one other quick thing, and I'll talk about this more in a bit. CNN pushed a crazy app called Ice Block that would allow you to track ICE agents and in real time alert people to where they are and what's going on. When CNN described the app, one of the things they said about it was that it was intent to help people who are here illegally avoid being detained and deported. But what obviously actually is going to happen, and there's a 500% increase in the amount of ICE agents who've been attacked by people, is that this would help people hurt law enforcement. This would help people harm, and this would put law enforcement in harm's way more often, which obviously is a reason to not discuss it or not talk about it or not, make it a thing that's a headline on CNN. And the only reason I'm mentioning it here is because James Woods, of all people, came out on social media and said, you know what we need to do? We need to jump on this app if you're someone that wants to protect law enforcement and make up places that ICE is when they're obviously not there, so that the Ice Block app doesn't work. Because essentially it's saying that ICE is everywhere all the time. And so it essentially becomes a useless app. And I like that. Overwhelm it with stupidity because the app is incredibly stupid to begin with. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
It's hot out there.
The weather's hot.
It's really hot.
But the headlines, they are even hotter.
Massive precision strikes. This was about being clandestine and the nuclear capability of Iran.
The news of the day is heating up.
Things have gotten super hot out there.
Iran is run by homicidal maniac crazy people.
Stay cool.
Angry at the basketball gods.
Stay informed.
This isn't the way that it was supposed to go down.
Stay with 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, Craig, looking at eastbound 70 going to Keystone Avenue. That is a crash and ramp closure. The exit ramp is closed as you make your way eastbound to Keystone Avenue. At the same interchange, Rural Street's okay. You can peel off there, maybe turn around, and then head north onto Keystone Avenue. Southbound 65, it is a crash at west, blocking a couple of lanes. We're down to one lane as you make your way through here, and traffic is stop and go back to 29th Street. South side, southbound 65, stop and go from Raymond to Keystone. Northbound lanes also stop and go traffic from Keystone up to Raymond Street. And now we have a crash on the south side. This is southbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue. Right lane blocked. There is a slowdown as you make your way through there. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely throughout the day. Thunderstorms maybe before 8 o'clock. Scattered showers and whatnot throughout the early morning hours, too. Otherwise, it's going to be gradually sunny and a high of 86. Right now, 73 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, kicks off with a street party featuring live music, a kids zone, great local food, and more, 6 to 10 p.m. Then fireworks with an amazing grand finale, thanks to the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
The street party is brought to you by Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana. One organ and tissue donor can save 8 lives and heal 75 more. Sign up at donatelifeindiana.org and talk to your family about your decision.
For more info, go to downtownindy.org.
Recovery is a journey, and no one walks it alone. The Supporting Sobriety podcast helps friends and families understand addiction, offer support, and care for themselves along the way. Hosted by Matt Bear and Ryan Hedrick. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024
Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I want to tell you guys a quick story. I was at the mechanic yesterday, had to get a simple service done on my vehicle. And you might be able to tell as I've been filling in for Tony, but I'm not at 100% health. I'm feeling a little under the weather. Not a lot under the weather, just a little bit. And so I'm sitting in the waiting room at the mechanic, and there's this one guy sitting like one row in front of me, and I sneezed pretty hard. I tried to contain it, but it fired out of me. I covered it. Like, it's not like I hit anybody with spittle or something like that. But as soon as I sneezed, the dude sitting in front of me glanced back, got up, and moved to the far corner of the room. Like, he got as far away as humanly possible. And I was thinking to myself, like, do I react in that environment? Not would I be mad at him, but like, do I apologize? Do I go stand outside and make myself get as far away from him as possible? I just thought it was hilarious that the dude, like, no reaction, no nothing, just looked at me, thought I was horribly contagious with some terrible virus, and went as far away as he could in the tiny room we were trapped in.
Yeah, put your mask on.
You
weren't wearing your mask, and
I was not.
And he was afraid of catching the vid. That
would you say something though? Would you be like, "I'm sorry, sir, it's not contagious" or whatever? Would you throw something at him or no?
No, because I've never moved because somebody sneezed. I might have moved because somebody might have regurgitated or flatulated at some point, and then I'm going to get the hell out of there. But if somebody sneezes, I think that's a fair and just natural reaction to life and what your body is doing. Did he leave the building? Did
no,
he? Okay.
He stayed. But here's the funny thing, too. Like, he didn't even give it a pause, man. I would have waited a couple seconds, made it more about, I just have to move over here. He immediately got up and was like, he wanted me to know, I want to be as far away from this dude who sneezed as possible.
He didn't, like, get up and wash his hands or anything, or try to go over to the water cooler there at the mechanic. Okay.
I don't know.
He just as soon as you did it, he got up and moved to another chair.
He absolutely did. He got as far away. It was pretty funny. And, like, there was a third person in the waiting room, too, who was kind of in the corner, and they seemed amused by the whole thing. I wanted to have a conversation with it. I don't know if that's the radio host in me, but in that moment, I wanted to, like, talk and feel everybody out. And I guess I didn't.
Excuse me, sir. Which one of my infectious diseases do you think you're going to catch right now? I mean, I have several.
Yeah.
One of them. And you probably got one or two of them just a second ago.
I also thought it would have been funny to just move closer to him again. Like, just see.
That would have been awesome.
He just moved. I can move. We can do this thing, and then eventually we fight. Yeah. Okay.
Go sit on his trunk when he's trying to leave.
All right. Another thing out there that I saw, and I do like this story a lot. And I know we only have about a minute or so to do it, so I'm going to try to do it well. A 43-year-old guy in Florida by the name of Michael O'Neill has a unique life. The guy went to a hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, for a stab wound that he wouldn't explain to people. He was stabbed. He was like, it happened. You don't need to know the details. As they were trying to help him, they found a crack pipe, lighter, and a whole bunch of meth in his rectum.
Oh, okay. It wrecked him. It nearly killed him.
Oh,
nice. Hey, way to go, Carl.
Boom!
What's crazy about this story, and I guess the reason I even wanted to talk about it, this isn't the first time that Michael had stuff discovered in his rectum that got him in trouble. Apparently, this is his move. And so police showed up, they arrested him, and they knew the guy. They're like, oh, yeah, 43-year-old Michael O'Neill. We know him. He does this from time to time.
This is a meth and rectum guy.
But this is the craziest. And his mugshot, he looks uniquely uncomfortable, which I would imagine is true of the guy in his day-to-day life. But I just have a question.
In your butt.
Exactly. I just have a simple question, and it's always the question I think of, and I don't know why it's the question I think of when I see these stories. Let's say you're Michael's best friend. Let's say he has one. How do you get him to stop putting meth inside his rectum? How do you convince him that like that's a mistake he's been making too many times.
Well, first you have to be the guy that doesn't get it out anymore, and that
Sure.
you encourage him by not helping him. That's the first.
That's
thing.
true. That's a good point. The first step is not helping. I like that.
Maybe you've made some decisions in your life where the cops know you as the rectum guy, the method rectum and the cracking rectum, and that's when you have to, start making better decisions.
Can I also just ask the question, why the lighter? Like, the lighter didn't have to be hidden up there.
Well, how are you going to look in the rectum without a lighter?
I'll be honest, like the crack pipe, that's an illegal thing. You can't have that. Right. The drugs, you can't have that. But the lighter, you can have that in your pocket, bud. Well, yeah. Like that's legal. That's allowed.
It's a lot more accessible if it's in your pocket, and then you can use it to. Buddy can look at it.
Yeah. I would hate to ask that guy for a light and see what happens in that situation.
Give me 1 second, please. I got to use the restroom. I got to run down the street. I'll be back with your lighter.
Matt, you got traffic for us?
I hope not. Looking at southbound 65 right now before Meridian Penn. This is a crash, and it's blocking 2 lanes. Only the center lane is open right now. We're jammed back to 29th. Ramp eastbound at 72 Keystone Avenue closed because of a crash. Sorry, Carl. Looking at southbound 65 right now. Crash at Edgewood Avenue blocking the right lane, and now a crash. Good Lord, people. Looking at northbound 65 at Raymond, that's a crash slowing us back to 465. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic.
For just a moment, imagine life without joint pain. Erase the constant ache in your knees, hips, or shoulders. Imagine moving with ease, unafraid of that next jolt of pain. At QC Kinetics, we believe your health is your greatest investment, and we're here to help you regain it. Our advanced regenerative therapies revitalize damaged joint tissue with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's not just about relieving pain, it's about restoring your freedom and confidence. Imagine golfing, hiking, or just walking without hesitation. Imagine waking up every morning without pain holding you back. With QC Kinetics, you can turn those dreams into reality by investing in something priceless, your health. Find out if you're a viable candidate by requesting a free consultation today. Call 463-842-1361. What's your health worth to you? If it's worth a free call and consultation, here's the number: 463-842-1361. 463-842-1361.
Stop putting screens on your gutters. If the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top and you're cleaning the screens. And those screens will need to be replaced. They just don't last. Pat Sullivan here. I have Gutter Helmet on my home and business, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. And this is a great time of year to call Gutter Helmet of Central Indiana, because right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 15% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 15% off is good through the end of June. Restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET or go to gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
Home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes, if improperly marketed, are sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. The expert realtor I recommend is Mark Dietl. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Kevin and Angela in Greenwood had to say about working with Mark Dietl. The big home was too much, and it was time for Dad to move into a maintenance-free community, but we needed cash from the home to fund the change. We reached out to the Mark Dietl team, who helped with the entire process, from selling belongings to prepping the home for maximum value. We went on the market and sold for $5,000 over asking price in less than 7 days. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis' leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com. Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Independence Week continues. Jeff Boggs will join us, and the biggest stories in Indy. 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, why it's a good day to stop smoking cigarettes, why the state Supreme Court is talking about property taxes, and what the Indiana Fever are saying about tonight's WNBA Commissioner's Cup Championship. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 7 o'clock.
All day and all of the night. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News debate and votes on amendments to the Republicans' so-called One Big Beautiful Tax and Spending Bill continue as a vote-a-rama started yesterday morning rolls on. One amendment removes a block on state and local governments from enforcing their own artificial intelligence regulations for 10 years.
They voted twice against a plan to bar illegal immigrants from receiving Medicaid. That was a provision that was stricken from the bill by the Senate parliamentarian, the referee in these matters here. And also, the Senate has voted 99-1 to take out a provision imposing an AI moratorium by the states and local governments for the next decade. That was taken out. That's something that was not in the original House bill, and that's something that will satisfy the House of Representatives.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. President Trump suggests taking a look at federal subsidies to Elon Musk's companies after Musk calls the One Big Beautiful Bill utterly insane. Brian Koberger agrees to plead guilty to the 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students at their off-campus home in a deal to spare him the death penalty. The family of at least one victim, Kaylee Goncalves, wants him dead.
In a letter to the victims' families, the prosecutor explained, quote, "We cannot fathom the toll that this case has taken on your family. This resolution is our sincere attempt to seek justice for your family." But the family of Kaylee Goncalves is angry, posting on their family Facebook page that they told prosecutors they did not want this plea deal. In a statement saying, quote, "Brian Koberger facing a life in prison means he would still get to speak, form relationships, and engage with the world. Meanwhile, our loved ones have been silenced forever." I also spoke to Kaylee's father last night, who told me, quote, "This isn't what we fought for."
Fox's Chanley Painter. 2 firefighters shot and killed in an ambush attack near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, are identified as 43-year-old Frank Harwood and 52-year-old John Morrison. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's a good day to stop smoking cigarettes. Light rain on radar, 75 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 87. I'm Ryan Hedrick for SeeBeyondTheAddiction.org. Here's what's trending at 7:02. The state's cigarette tax doubled today as a new law took effect.
I just think it's another thing to screw over the middle class, the working people. I just think it's kind of wrong. We're already paying outrageous money for everything else.
It's not right to tax people extra just because they smoke cigarettes. They say that it's because of the health care cost. So is overweight people. That's a choice too, right? But you don't see them having to pay extra money. So fair is fair.
Upset. Mad about it. Very angry.
And that's Wish TV gauging reaction from some angry Hoosiers. The cigarette tax jumps from $1 to $3 effective today. The Indiana Supreme Court is looking into a case that could impact property tax revenue for homeowners and local governments. Here's John Herrick.
The case involves a couple that has 3.9 acres of land. The Lake County assessor has limited the 1% cap to 1 acre, leaving the remaining 2.9 under a 2% cap. Well, their attorney said this cost them about $1,000 a year, and most Hoosiers assumed when voting for the tax caps that their entire property would count as their homestead, regardless of size. The court must decide if the limitation conflicts with the constitutional provision and how to define curtilage in assessing property tax, and the attorneys have had a hard time doing that. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Lots of criminal charges filed and lots of people arrested after state police and 4 other law enforcement agencies teamed up for a summer session driving patrol.
The officers dubbed the unannounced 4-day patrol as Operation Blue Thunder. The goal was to enforce traffic laws and catch individuals who utilize Indiana roadways to transport and distribute illegal narcotics.
68 people arrested, 168 criminal charges filed so far. The WNBA Commissioner's Cup is on the line tonight when the 8-8 Indiana Fever take on the 14-2 Minnesota Lynx. Fever forward Aaliyah Boston said Monday the prize money is good.
Yeah, that's the goal right here. I mean, when there's money on the line, what else are you looking at?
So the total compensation tops out at $500,000, with the winning team making about $30,000 per player, and the game's MVP takes home an additional $5,000. The losing team still gets $10,000 per player. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
All right, that construction zone on the south side lit up like a Christmas tree right now. We're going to start in the northbound direction coming up after 465. And first, we have a crash. It's northbound 65 at South Keystone Avenue. That's causing a slowdown. After that, another crash. It's northbound 65 at Raymond Street. That's blocking the right lane. Total stop-and-go traffic back to 465. And then we look at southbound 65 going in the other direction, outbound from downtown, and southbound 65 Edgewood Avenue. That's a crash blocking the right lane. Stop and go traffic back to 465. A crash southbound 65 before Meridian Street Penn downtown. That's stopping traffic to 29th Street. A delay time of 16 minutes, only getting by in the center lane in that crash. And a ramp closed on the east side. It runs from eastbound 70 to Keystone Avenue, and that ramp is shut down because of a crash. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Save on top brands like Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more during the red, white, and blue sale at Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com, your local Grand today. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear. Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Terra Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We've got some showers and even a few claps of thunder out there. Not going to last all day long. We will see those exit here in the next couple of hours. Skies become partly cloudy and less humid air arrives this afternoon. Highs today near 85. Mostly clear and comfortable tonight. We'll fall to 65. So we're going to wake up Wednesday morning. Very refreshing air out there for you. Look for sunny skies Wednesday afternoon with highs near 86 and up to 88, dry and sunny on Thursday.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it is 7:07 Tuesday morning. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. I caught Ryan Hedrick's newscast and some of the audio he played from Wish TV about the cigarettes and the people that are upset about it. And I got to tell you, I really love one of the people that Wish TV decided to talk to. Her name is Laura Schenkins. I think I'm getting her name right. That last piece of audio there, I think I pulled it up again. She was asked how she feels about the cigarette taxes. Laura, during this news hit, was smoking cigarettes as part of the background image that they were using. The B-roll is what they call it, that they were using during the news coverage. This is hilarious. This woman is definitely unapologetic about her smoking and is definitely not happy about the new cigarette taxes. I want to play this audio again.
Upset. Mad about it. Very angry.
Very angry. She's sitting there just saying, I'm upset, I'm mad about it, I'm angry. The video then shows as they're speaking over that she's sitting there smoking her cigarettes outside of the store. And then they ask her one more question.
Smoke, because I like to smoke.
They asked her if she's going to stop smoking. She said, no, I'm going to keep smoking. I like to smoke, and I don't want to have to pay this extra cost. I got to be honest. As somebody who's never smoked a cigarette in my life, I don't care about raising the taxes on smoking. I do think it's interesting that some people in that news coverage from Wish TV did an amazing job. Honestly, WIBC and Wish TV is a force to be reckoned with as a group together. It's just great coverage of this. And it's probably something that a whole lot of people in the area, in the state, are talking about today. So it's absolutely at the forefront of your mind. But even more so than that, like, to be honest, They said that if you're overweight, you might burden the healthcare system. If you're this or that, you might burden the healthcare system. Why do you have to pay more money over here? Why aren't taxes going up over there? Why is it just cigarette taxes that are being raised? But again, because of how much we know about the health problems that are caused by smoking, I don't care. And I wonder if you do. I would love to hear from Hoosiers on this, actually. I don't think we can open up the phone lines and take calls. But if you want to send us a message somehow, Radio Craig C is my social media handle. But you can let us know what the problem is, what you don't like about it. And then also, of course, if you are, in fact, a smoker, because I imagine that's a huge component as to whether or not you care. And to be honest, that happens with so many things in our society. If you ask somebody what they think about like reparations and the person is black and would actually get money from reparations, they seem to like it more than anybody else, that it would cost money. And there's a bunch of polls that say this. So again, I imagine that if it hits home, it's something, again, talking about smoking, that you probably are much more upset about than if you're anybody else, especially if the reason you don't smoke is you think it's bad for your health. Then you might be like, yeah, of course, you got to tax it more or push harder into that world. The same is true of anything else that seems to be a thing where the government knows they can steal more money from you by asking for more because you're already addicted or you're already stuck. I'm not sure exactly how best to articulate that, to be honest. But I assume that it's a move where the government thinks there won't be a lot of people mad because all the non-smokers think it's appropriate, and they also can get more money. And they'll do anything they can to get more money in any capacity whatsoever. But if you are a smoker, I imagine this makes you uniquely upset today. Just like that woman, Laura Schenkins, my favorite. My favorite part about her, and I know this segment probably shouldn't be all about her, and she's out there, maybe she listens to WIBC, I'm not sure, is that she was smoking during the interview. And like they had enough B-roll to show it. She's like, yeah, I like this. I like what I'm doing. I don't like paying more money for it, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to keep smoking. And how dare you people? You suck, not me. Sorry. There's something so great about that. I couldn't help it. Ryan Hedrick, amazing newscast, by the way. I was captivated. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
My name's Craig Landers. I'm a union laborer for Local 120, and I'm a member of the Veteran Steering Committee and been retired for 7 years.
For members of the Laborers International Union of North America, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community.
I like to help veterans and family downtown. Part of the building burnt down that housed the veterans that lived there. So we donated money to help out. They lost everything they had. I mean, didn't have much, but they lost what they did have.
When the Indy community needs help, LIUNA steps up.
People bring in clothes and shoes and food. We had a couple of car shows and donated the proceeds to the Veteran Suicide Prevention.
This is Chris Brickey, Business Manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
Pretty good to help them guys out. That's a good feeling to help people out.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LIUNA Local 120.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with Xfi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
1 second I'm on my bike, next second I see this car coming at me, and
I broke my left ankle in 3 places.
I decided to call Hensley.
I realized Hensley was impressive first time I spoke with my attorney.
They just kind of took that burden off my back.
It happens. Hire Hensley.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
South side is tore up all of a sudden, Craig, and this really got bad in the last half hour here with the rain. Westbound 465 crash before 31 on the left shoulder now, and then I-65 through the construction. Real problem at the moment. Looking at northbound 65 first to crash. Southport Road blocking the left lane. After that, northbound 65 at Raymond. Crash blocking the right lane. Stop and go traffic back to Keystone Avenue. Going southbound now. Southbound 65 away from Indianapolis. Crash at Edgewood Avenue blocking the right lane. Jamming up traffic back to 465. Ramp closed on the east side at eastbound 70 going to Keystone Avenue. Ramp shut down because of a crash. And then we see southbound 65 downtown. It's a crash at Meridian Penn. And stopping traffic back to MLK. Worst delay so far this morning at 24 minutes. Traffic only getting through in the center lane. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely throughout the rest of the morning until about 11 o'clock today. Thunderstorms also possible. Thank you. There we go. That was intense. A high of 86, 72 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
I'm a grandson, a son. I'm an employee and a mentor. I'm a father to 2 beautiful kids and a husband to an amazing wife. And I have a substance use disorder. In other words, I'm living in recovery with an addiction. And now that you know, will you let it change how you see me? It's okay to see my addiction, but I want you to know it's people choosing to see me as a person that changed my life.
See the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. We're going to do our popcorn moment brought to you by Boer Remodeling, the Boer Remodeling Company, BoerBuilding.com, BOOHER building.com. If it's in your 4 walls, they're your only call. That is Tony Katz tagged, I think, copyrighted catchphrase for them. 317-852-5546 to give them a call. 317-852-5546. The popcorn moment is the crazy guy in New York, the person who is very likely to be the mayor in New York, the Democratic candidate who won the primary there. This dude is nuts. And my favorite thing about this is there's actually a PolitiFact fact check that claims that he's definitely not a communist. And I'm about to play the audio in just a second. It says that he's not a communist because he doesn't believe in 2 things that the Communist Party believes in. He doesn't believe in the government taking over industry and the government buying private property. However, the crazy guy in New York, believes that the government should buy up industries like grocery stores and whatnot. And he also seems to believe that they should buy some private properties and turn them into communes, which is something he literally said in an interview recently.
Go further toward the Vienna model. We'll have to go beyond the market.
We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities to everyone.
Communism. That's what it sounds like to me. You call it social housing if you want to, but that's the communist. He wants the government to buy up private land, turn it into affordable, community-developed, areas that people would live in. And he also wants to buy up grocery stores and other things and turn them into government-run facilities. Totally not a communist, though, man. And I love the PolitiFacts because they literally write exactly that. Here's quoting it. Mamdani's platform is not akin to communism, a system of government which calls for government takeover of private property and control of industry, which is exactly what he wants to do. He also thinks billionaires should not exist, as he said recently, and I played that audio yesterday, and he would like to work with billionaires to have them give up their money, which they're unlikely to do. I think the billionaires will probably decline to work with Mamdani for some reason on some of that stuff. All right, let's move on to other things. I like this story a lot. A poll of Gen Z and millennials found that 45% of them would be, quote, embarrassed if someone were to go to their home right now. If you had a surprise visitor, almost 50% of people of those two ages would not enjoy it. 36% said they only clean up if they know that someone is coming over. What I find most unique about this, and I think actually Swiffer paid for this poll, which is sort of hilarious in and of it to me because bias. I'm going to say that for sure. But my wife is an avid cleaner. And sometimes I feel bad about it because she'd like me to clean with her, and I don't do it as much as I should. But she cleans like every weekend, like deep dives her house. And so our house is immaculate. Right now, anybody could come over, and it would look great, and it's not because of me. And I love it. I told her the other day, I'm so grateful that she does what she does to keep our home so clean, mostly because I benefit from it. It's not like we have surprise visitors that often, but I'm very happy to be in such a clean house. I think people have described it as a place where you could do surgery on the floor if you wanted to, which is probably accurate. I think you could. It'd be fine. No real serious infections. But nonetheless, I do find this very amusing that most Gen Zers and most millennials say they'd be very embarrassed if someone were to swing over right now.
Is this really a generational thing, or is this just to the individual?
I don't know.
Because I've seen Gen Xers or people my age with places that were absolutely filthy. And
Yeah.
I know there was a time where my place, wasn't so good at all. I wouldn't let myself in the door, let alone a visitor. I don't know if it's a generational thing, but it kind of goes into the whole mystique that millennials aren't as enthusiastic about their work environment. Or actually doing the thing as individuals that we were a little bit older. I'm not sure how true that is, but it kind of plays into that they're just kind of laissez-faire when it comes to doing things for themselves.
No, it's a good question. I think that probably about 50% of people, no matter what age you are, would fall into the category of I'm not cleaning my house all the time for the random, unexpected, guest that comes over, or just in general because I like it. Just in general, my wife loves to have something this clean. She says she feels uncomfortable if it's not clean enough, and so she cleans it. And I'm just like, okay, this is great.
Well, who has unexpected guests anymore? I mean, who's just dropping in?
Nobody does that. We have a Ring
met
doorbell.
with a shank if you just knock on my door randomly.
We have a Ring doorbell in our house. I don't think it's rang like more than twice. I don't think anybody uses it. I don't know why I have it. Yeah, okay, cool. Another story out there that I saw that I like a lot. This is a summer travel tip. Matt, you can be ready for this one.
Oh, great.
If you are getting patted down a little too often by TSA, there might be a culprit that you can fix. You might have swamp crotch, according to the internet.
Oh.
Apparently, the way that the TSA system scans your body, the lights, the waves might bounce off of water. So if there's millimeters of water in the area of the crotch region, then you're very likely to have somebody pat you down. A woman went viral on Reddit for complaining that she gets patted down a lot, and then they were, willing to admit that they also have a swampy area.
But was she attractive?
Carl!
It was Reddit. It was Reddit. There was no photo. So it's just a person saying, that I'm a woman and I get patted down and I'm upset about it. We don't know, Carl. That's yet to be determined. But I thought this was interesting. that if you're sweating a lot down there, it's likely to set off some scanners, and you're gonna need a pat down.
I've been in an airport line for TSA before, and I don't want to. I can't imagine that would be a job you want to have. I mean, people have been riding in their car. Yeah. People are eating breakfast right now. I don't want to be too in the detail here at the moment, but what?
I already said swamp crotch.
Surely there's but I'm starting to describe the swamp crotch, and I don't want to do that. I think we can all use our imaginations God gave us.
Sure.
I don't know. What's the training like whenever you're for something like this? Because there has to be like a specific subsection in the TSA training manual that's how to deal with something like this. Because I can't imagine it's anything anybody wants to do.
No.
It doesn't sound.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound great.
No.
I got to be honest, man. Radio is all about, the imagery with words. I think you can go and describe swamp crotch for us a little bit, Matt.
Okay.
We can play some slow audio, have you do it as a PSA of what not to do.
Imagine you've been sitting in your car from Mooresville to Indianapolis International Airport. And all of a sudden, the moisture begins. See that? Yeah. Okay, that's no.
It's building up in areas you don't want it to build up in.
In more ways than one.
Buy talcum powder today. All right, lots of things out there to talk about, but we'll take a break. We'll do some traffic, and we'll apologize in general for all the swamp crotch references that happened.
Okay.
Can we have it branded? Maybe Hammer and Nigel talcum powder to get the swamp crotch out this summer season.
Fantastic. Looking at Southside right now, and everything, the crashes on I-65 between 465 and the South Split. All lanes are now open in that area, except for the construction lanes. They're still closed, but anything reduced because of a crash have been shifted to the shoulder or moved out of the way of the main line of the interstate. Still slow going northbound from South Keystone Avenue into the South Split. And we have a crash southbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue. It's blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic to 465 and onto eastbound 465 from South Keystone. And a crash northbound 65 at Southport Road, causing a little bit of a slowdown. It's on the shoulder. Ramp closed going eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue on the east side. That's shut down because of a crash, and a delay coming in on southbound 65 running from MLK past West Street. That's because of a crash that has taken us down to one lane of travel only. You can get through on the center lane. Everything else blocked by the crash for a 19-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Independence Week continues. Jeff Boggs will join us, and the biggest stories in Indy. 93 WIBC.
Hello, it's Matt Bear for Cochran Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home, okay? Now's your chance for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Cochran Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Cochran have all the choices, plus a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Help your home find the fountain of roof. For your free estimate, call Cochran Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit CochranExteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Road trip!
This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Big, beautiful bill. It's big. It's a bill. We're going to grow this economy. We're going to spend some money. But you got to spend money to make money.
Does anybody trust the government, Republicans or Democrats, to get it right and do that? But if this were Democrats pushing through another $5 trillion, we'd say, what the hell are you doing? If you don't stop the spending, we're going to run out of money.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A plea deal is on the table, and a family is not happy about it. Light rain on radar in downtown Indianapolis, 75 degrees and humid, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. A man who police say killed 4 University of Idaho students is taking a deal that will allow him to avoid the death penalty.
The families of all 4 victims who were killed are aware of this plea deal. But according to the Kaylee Gonzalez family Facebook page, they confirm it's true, but added they are beyond furious at the state of Idaho, saying they have failed us. Now, Koberger was accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students back in November of 2022. They were Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Gernodal, and Ethan Chapin. Now, Koberger came into the picture after investigators received hundreds of tips, one of them being that a particular car had been spotted near the scene through security camera footage.
That's Fox's Jeff Paul reporting that Koberger is expected to face life in prison as part of this deal. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with President Trump in the U.S. next Monday.
Reports indicate the pair are set to discuss a path forward to try and end the war in Gaza and bring the remaining hostages home.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv, Israel.
Now, yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order lifting sanctions on Syria, a clear sign that the Americans are looking to have stronger ties with the government of Ahmed al-Shara. The region remains on edge following the 12-day war between Israel and Iran.
At least 70 people killed in Israel or by the Israeli military in Gaza on Monday. Lawmakers have been working around the clock voting and proposing changes to President Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill. Republican senators are working to resolve differences over cuts to Medicaid. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says his political rival supports Hamas. Adams claims Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist who might become the next mayor, has shown support for Hamas. Adams tells Jewish voters to pay attention. On NBC News Meet the Press, Mamdani did not condemn the slogan, "Globalize the Intifada," saying it's not the mayor's job to control what people say. For NCAA athletes, the game has changed, and so have the paychecks.
Remember when college sports was for amateurs? Not anymore. Beginning today, as a result of the ruling in the House versus NCAA case, college athletes can get paid directly by their schools. A revenue-sharing plan will allow for up to $20.5 million per school to get paid to athletes for the 2025-26 academic year. This is independent on top of scholarships. As a result of the settlement, the NCAA will also pay out $2.8 billion in back damages to former Division I student athletes who were active before name, image, likeness deals were available. Over the course of a decade, the revenue-sharing cap will increase from $20.5 million per school to $32 million annually. Schools can allocate funds as they see fit. Football programs expected to take in the overwhelming majority.
And that's Fox's Jared Max reporting. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Fever are off to a subpar start, 8-8 to start the season, but Fever head coach Stephanie White said Monday it could do a lot of help for their growth if they beat the 14-2 Minnesota Lynx tonight.
But the bigger picture, an opportunity to win a championship, a first championship here in Indiana, and an opportunity for us to get better and grow.
And tonight is the WNBA Commissioner's Cup on the line. Lots of cash, $500,000 for the winning team. That will be split amongst the players, $30,000. A team they'll tip it off at 8 o'clock tonight, Minnesota. Cincinnati Reds starter Chase Burns lasted just a third of an inning, allowing 7 runs, 5 earned, and a 13-6 loss to the Red Sox.
I can't really tell you that. Just trying to flush it, and then back to the drawing board, see what works, see what didn't work, and go from there.
And those two teams will play again tonight at 7:10. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:35, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
What's up, Ryan? Looking to southbound 65 at West Street. Crash, taking the interstate down to 1 lane. Only the center lane available to travel in here at the moment. Traffic is stopped. Back to MLK for a delay of 17 minutes. Eastbound 70 on the east side, crash closure. The exit ramp from eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue cannot make that exit right now. And traffic is a little bit slow going through the area. Please be careful. South side crash. Northbound 65 at Southport Road, no lanes taken. It's on the shoulder, slowing us down to stop 11. Crash south side, southbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue, stop and go traffic back to 465. This also slows eastbound 465, that exit to I-65. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely, possibly thunderstorms throughout the morning hours. Of course, you're aware of that if you're in Indy because it's been raining on and off all morning. High of 86 today. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 72. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Whenever I'm out of wandering,
Donnie Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. It's time for the Facebook Marketplace segment of the show, brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. Go to their website, indianaunclaimed.gov. Tell them who you are, and they might have some money for you. It's that easy. It's fast. It's free. That's all the stuff they say on the website, and it's awesome. I recently got some cash from Indiana Unclaimed, even though I haven't lived in Indiana for about 15 years, 20 years, something like that. I still got some money, so that was great. Today's marketplace item really amused me more just because of the title of it than anything else. There's a guy in Indianapolis who 4 weeks ago listed his business for sale. It's just a big, giant, all caps, selling business. $18,000 is all he's asking for his sweet, sweet business. Yeah, there you go. It is a bunch of vending machines. I don't think they're anywhere. I think you'd have to pick them all up from his house. But he has 12 vending machines. He's also got some spare parts. He's got a Pepsi, an AP, refreshment deli is what he calls it. And he claims there's 5 different locations. But he's selling this business for $18,000. Good luck to him. 4 weeks, nobody's bid so far.
So his business was empty vending machines, if I'm getting that
essentially
correctly.
Yeah. He's got 12 of them, and again, he's got 5 locations he claims you can use them in. And yeah, he wants almost $20,000.
Happy retirement, dude. Seriously, I'm excited for you. That's really cool. So what would you do? I mean, can you just buy one of the vending machines? What am I going to do with 5 empty vending machines? How do I start a business out of that? I don't understand the vending machine business, Craig.
Yeah. Well, I know that they say like the laundromat is a good business too, and the vending machine business because it just like does itself more than anything else. I think it's also good for like mobs to embezzle money and to hide money that way. So it's either or as far as what you're doing. I just love the fact that his title is selling business. It's not that he's selling vending machines.
Sure.
He's selling his very lucrative business for $18,000, and you could be a lucky person to buy it today, and it's taken 4 weeks and no one's in.
I'm picturing
I could offer him. Go ahead.
Like a big neon sign that says Matt's vending machines, actually drive up where you can put your money into the vending machine and then get a bag of Doritos. Has like the drive-through window and everything. Like a Starbucks, you have a barista there serving you from the vending machine,
Like you guys buy stuff from vending machines, don't you?
No, not in a long time.
Never?
No, I used to when I was a kid, but I used to have to, shake them and beat the hell out of them to actually get my thing. And then eventually I learned it's like the little hand-grabby video game toy that you play with it. Hand goes down and picks up a stuffed animal at the same time.
That's the whole thing. Yeah,
at the same time.
Wait a minute, Carl, do you buy stuff from vending machines or no?
We used to have a vending machine here in the building, but they disappeared. It was probably that guy's business.
Yeah,
it's not for sale. What do you mean it's just gone? Hey, how did you guys lose the radio vending machine? Is an important component to the radio station. I think I need to open one. I
can't fit one more of these in my apartment right now. That's all I know. Whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I love the radio vending machine, and I love when it gets down to like the last few items that are in there because you know that everybody doesn't want them, but someone's going to eat that stuff.
So true. We always said you go up to the vending machine and be like, "That's a wasted trip," because there's that one flavor of, really healthy chips that nobody wanted. I mean, if you're getting from a vending machine, you don't want health food. All right.
Yeah,
you just want it to not kill you.
Somebody's eventually eating it, though. That's the other thing is like, at some point you're going to see someone walk through the hallway that's eating those, chips that no one else wanted because they eventually broke. Because the convenience of the vending machine is the only reason that it's important. Yeah. I buy stuff from vending machines every day.
Do you really? What do you get? Do you get the large cola? Do you get the cola pop?
Do I get the cola pop? No, I occasionally buy soda. I think I get the Doritos mostly if they're available in the vending machine. But yeah, there's a vending machine where I work, and I have vending machine food every day. And it'd probably be good to not do it, but it's right there, Matt. How do I stop myself?
I mean, it's like Doritos, I mean, you can get Doritos at home, put some nacho cheese with them. I mean, I just feel like you're shaming the Doritos by just eating them out of the vending machine. I mean, there's
you now sound officially like my wife, who's like, why do you spend this much money on one little bag of Doritos? You could just buy the whole thing. But I don't want to be that guy who brings in the giant box of Doritos to work to show everybody that I'm trying to save money on the vending machine Doritos. Like that's an embarrassing guy to be. I don't want to be him. I've done it with soda before. I don't want to do it with snacks.
Oh, you're talking about the big garbage bag full of Doritos that they sell at the store.
Yeah, like I swing by the Costco and I buy myself a massive thing of Doritos and put them under my desk. That's not going to work. That guy's horrible.
What does a Costco bag of Doritos look like? Because I just see the ones in the store like the large grab bags or something. I mean, is Costco bigger? I mean, is that like a monster bag?
I think the cardboard box comes with a bunch of little bags. I think you can do the giant thing. Yeah.
Genius.
And then I could have... It's not. Try walking in with that to your job, Matt. I would love for you to show up tomorrow with the giant box of Doritos and see what people say about you. You'll be Doritos guy.
If I did that, they'd give me a drug test immediately.
Okay. I would pass the drug test, by the way, anyone listening now.
Good. Yeah, I would too, ironically.
I eat Taco Bell late at night and Doritos often, and I would pass a drug test. I feel very strong about that. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
It's hot out there. The weather's hot.
It's really hot.
But the headlines, they are even hotter.
Massive precision strikes. This was about being clandestine and the nuclear capability of Iran.
The news of the day is heating up.
Things have gotten super hot out there.
Iran is run by homicidal maniac crazy people.
Stay cool.
Angry at the basketball gods.
Stay informed.
This isn't the way that it was supposed to go down.
Stay with 93 WIBC.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Southside's a little bit better. A lot of these crashes that just got on top of us have cleared. Now we're still looking at a crash going northbound 65 at Southport Road South Side. Crash on the shoulder, a little bit of a slowdown as you make your way through there. And then it's construction traffic on northbound 65 from Southport Road. Slow to Keystone Avenue, then stop and go into the South Split again. All that because of construction. The crash cleared on southbound 65 at Edgewood Avenue. That is gone. Still closed on the east side. The exit ramp from eastbound 70 to Keystone shut down because of a crash. Southbound 65 at West, that's a crash, taking us down to 1 lane. Center lane available only. Stop to MLK delay 13 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely throughout the morning today. Also, some thunderstorms are possible, maybe in the even early afternoon hours. High of 86 right now in downtown Indianapolis. It is 72 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Pat Sullivan here with exciting news from my friends at Hope Plumbing, now known as Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Hope now offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, bringing total comfort to your home. No more dealing with multiple home service memberships. For only $8 a month, Hope is now your one-stop for safety and maintenance inspections and so much more. Make sure you're prepared for those Indiana summer heat waves with an AC tune-up by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE.
Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream. Or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom-built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5, and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
For all your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons, Chapman. Drain cleanings right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Grab your tickets for Columbus, July 9th through 12th now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com.
If you're pressed for time, the WIBC Mashup Podcast is your shortcut to the smartest, sharpest, and strangest moments on air. It's the best content from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Updated daily. Find the WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out, as you do every single morning on this show. I thought this was an interesting thing. A brand new study found that young people, specifically, but maybe a lot of people, dislike opening gifts in front of others. They'd like for this to stop being a trend at like baby showers, birthday parties, any of this stuff. They hate the part at the end of the party when all the gifts are lined up and you open them and people get to see your reaction to the stuff they bought you. I think this is hilariously wrong. I demand that people open the thing I purchased for them when I'm somewhere, and I want to see happiness in their eyes, or I want to take the thing back. That's what I want to do every time I go to any of this stuff. If you didn't like it, if you're not a fan of it, give it to me and I'm returning it now, is my approach to this. I don't know why this is something that people feel is awkward. How dare I have to open things in front of people and pretend I like them all, even if I don't like some of this stuff.
Okay, is this for adults only or like kids too? I mean, is it the kids that
I don't see kids mentioned here.
Okay, kids are mentioned.
Maybe.
It's just people in general.
Yeah.
Like, say I'm at an office work party, I get a gift from Carl, I open it up and it
Yeah.
sucks, and I get mad at Carl, that kind of thing. I would suggest, listen, I don't get the whole thing to begin with, all right?
The opening in front of other people thing?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't, because I understand it's from the heart. It's supposed to be from the heart, but we are such a society where we have to keep up with the Joneses right now. I just think that creates some serious division. Now, I'm not the guy who's saying don't have the office party or don't give gifts at work or at school, wherever you might be. I'm just saying anymore, like today, everything has to be a controversy. Everything has to be a problem, and they are going to find something wrong with the gift, especially if there's a crowd of people around being like, oh, you can't accept that. You can't take that. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit too neurotic here. But I can see where the issue is. But at the same time, what do you do? Be like, don't open that one. That one's too big. Or don't open that present because that's too small. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous, you know?
I don't know. To me, man, the thing is just very self-serving. If I bought something for someone that I didn't even really want to buy for them, I was invited to something, I had to buy a gift to go, and I did it. I want to see them open it and pretend they love it. That's all I want. I want that to be for my 10, 15, whatever the amount of dollars was, especially the office party setting. If I bought you something dumb and I watch you open it and not seem happy about it, I'm going to be mad. I want that thing back. I don't know if I'm going to be that mad, but I genuinely do mean this, as silly as it sounds coming out. I want to see somebody pretend they like a thing, and then I'll feel better about the money I don't have anymore.
You want that false hope.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
I remember...
No,
go
I was
ahead,
just
Matt.
going to say that's what giving a gift is about, to let people know that you
about
care
me.
about them. And it's totally about yourself. You're right.
Yeah. Giving people a gift is about me and them pretending that I'm very generous and amazing as a person. It's really just giving the gift back to me. I remember there was a elephant thing. What is that called?
White
the Christmas
elephant.
thing? White elephant. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. The white elephant thing one year with my wife's extended family. And they were tough to buy for because a lot of them are in Mexico living there, and I don't know what items they want. And they don't speak English, so they can't even tell me. And I remember, like, I swung and missed hard at this white elephant thing, and it was devastating to be there. And like my gift kept getting exchanged to other people, and they're like, "We don't know why the gringo did this." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what happened." Yeah.
Why did she marry him?
Right? Yeah. Why? In this moment, I thought it was like nice soaps or something. I bought something and nobody cared.
Okay, so is this white elephant like a piñata? Is that?
Yeah, no, it should have been.
It sounds like a piñata to me. Was it something dangling in there? You said swing with a bat. I mean, what was happening here?
No. They were just handing it off to each other. Like the white elephant was getting traded. My item, once it was opened, was just being given. They should do a piñata version of white elephant, where the surprise is, Have you done anything? This is a weird question. I know we're up against a break. Have you swung a bat at a piñata in your adult life?
Yes, not my adult life. No, when I was a child, I did.
Okay, it's way better in your adult life. I just want to say that as a person. Attacking a piñata at the tail end of kids, like failing to break it open, is a really cathartic moment. There's a lot of things about it that are great. One, when you explode the thing and the candy flies everywhere, the kids all scatter to pick it up, which is pretty fulfilling. And then two, the fact that you get to beat something with a bat in front of other people is uniquely amazing.
Yeah, if you break that piñata, you're a hero.
You are. It's one of the best moments. Like, you're a hero to all of the children as you destroy, and you hit it way too hard. Like, you destroy some of the candy in the process of going after it. This is something I have done on multiple occasions.
Can I just walk up randomly to like somebody's piñata and just start and
I think it's fun.
Candy spills everywhere, and the candy goes to anybody who just happens to be walking by. I mean, random piñata.
To be honest, as adults, as kids are swinging at the piñata and they're not breaking it open, it gets frustrating. Eventually, like, somebody's just got to break this thing open. It's got to get open. They got to get the candy out of this. This thing's got to end. And so then, you take the bat and you go nuts for a few seconds. All right, this was a lot about me. We can do stuff about other things as we do more of the show. But we'll take a break. We'll do some traffic, and I'm going to call a therapist.
All right, sounds good, Greg. Look at the southbound 65 Edgewood Avenue, blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic 2465. Northbound 65 south side, crash blocking the left lane at Southport Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Mark Dietel, the only local real estate agent I would trust to sell my home, the only local real estate agent I'd trust to find me a new one. How about John in Greencastle? He bought a home in Greencastle, right? But shortly after, his son moved to Fishers, which left him an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. So John thought he made a big mistake and felt stuck since he'd only been in his home less than a year. Not a problem for the Mark Dietel team. They delivered big. John's home sold in 14 days for the price he needed so he could move closer to family and work.
Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Mark Dietel makes this easy. All you have to do is reach out to him. Call him right now, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel, markdietel.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis' leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, an emergency phone call, a collapsed man, and lots of cops. What happened in downtown Indianapolis last night, why a child's death is now being questioned, and what the Indiana Fever are up to. Those stories and more after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
A new Senate record. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News. There have now been at least 45 votes on proposed amendments to the Republicans' big tax and spending bill, a vote-a-rama that started 23 and a half hours ago. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox and Friends.
I was just in touch with leadership up on the Hill, and I can tell you we are moving toward a vote today.
Fox's Aisha Hosni at the Capitol.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune does not currently have the votes to pass President Trump's big, beautiful bill, although the White House has now sent in Vice President J.D. Vance, and he's here not so much as the tie-breaking vote. Probably more likely he's here to try to negotiate, use his relationships with these senators to try to bring them across the finish line. You have two hard-nosed, Rand Paul and Tom Tillis. We have heard in the overnight hours that there were some efforts to try to flip Rand Paul by reducing the debt ceiling increase. That was something that he was pretty unhappy about, the debt ceiling being attached to this big, beautiful bill.
With no support from Democrats, no more than 3 Republicans can vote no for the bill to pass. President Trump will be in Florida today to see a new immigration detention facility in the Everglades.
The detention center is set on the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport. Alligator Alcatraz will have 5,000 beds. The state says the site will cost $450 million a year to operate, which will be reimbursed by FEMA. Over the weekend, protesters lined up along Highway 41, which runs through the Everglades. Environmental activists have a federal lawsuit saying state and federal agencies did not follow environmental and land use laws. Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin is calling the lawsuit lazy, saying the land has been developed for more than a decade.
Fox's Madeline Rivera in D.C. It's day 2 of deliberations at the Sean Diddy Combs sex crimes trial in New York. Jurors so far have a question about the definition of drug distribution and want guidance about one juror alleged to not be able to follow the court's instructions. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why part of downtown Indianapolis was a crime scene. Light rain on radar, 75 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. A man collapsed in a pool of his own blood after he was stabbed multiple times at the city-county building last night. Indianapolis cops say they started getting calls about the incident around 6:30. They say a man walked across the street from where he was stabbed to the transit center and then collapsed. Police have not talked about a motive or an arrest. You may have heard about a beating that happened in Allen County. It took place outside of a bar just a few weeks ago, outside of Fort Wayne at Pike's Pub. A viral video shows several men sporting Outlaws Motorcycle Club jackets beating a black man. They say that man or those men have been charged, but prosecutors today have filed enhancement charges against the men for being gang members. The Justice Department says it's uncovered the biggest healthcare fraud case ever involving billions of dollars. Here's Jake McDaniel.
More than 300 people were charged in this whole feud, including at least 90 doctors and nurses. Some of them were even accused of diverting meds. At least a dozen of those charged are in Indiana. That includes Rachel Goldstein from Jeffersonville, who was accused of faking pet prescriptions for opioids. Then there's a pharmacist in Noblesville named Evelyn who was accused of stealing and selling 500,000 opioids on the black market. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There is no way that a 12-year-old boy in Cumberland accidentally shot himself, say prosecutors. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
As police in Cumberland conducted their investigation, they initially determined that 12-year-old Jeremiah Cotton died after accidentally shooting himself early Friday morning inside a home. At least that's what witnesses told them what happened. However, the Marion County coroner came out with a ruling Monday saying Cotton's death was a homicide after determining there was no way he could have injured himself. Those in the home at the time of the shooting were between 15 and 18 years old. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office will eventually make the final charging decisions. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The WNBA is about to grow to expand to 18 teams. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert welcomed Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia to the league yesterday.
So it is my honor to officially announce that the WNBA is expanding from our currently announced 15 teams to 18 teams over the next few years.
And Cleveland will join the WNBA in 28, Detroit in 29, and Philly in 30. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark named a WNBA All-Star captain recently. John Herrick reports she'll be joined by a teammate.
The WNBA announced on Monday that Fever forward Aaliyah Boston will be a starter in the All-Star game. She's currently averaging 15 points and 8 rebounds per game while leading the entire league in field goal percentage at 59.7%. That's 3% higher than the next highest player. The All-Star game is July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. At 8:05, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Ryan, east side ramp closed. Eastbound 70 going to Keystone Avenue closed because of a crash. Crash clear downtown. Southbound 65 at West still slow from MLK to 29th. That's clearing up, though. Northbound 65 slow in construction. Edgewood Avenue to 465, and then stop-and-go traffic before South Keystone Avenue up to the south split again because of that construction zone. Southbound 65 slows up Washington Street down to the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Terra Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We've got some showers out there for this morning. Over the next couple of hours, those come to an end. We'll look for partly cloudy skies and less humid conditions later this afternoon. We'll get up to about 85. Mostly clear and comfortable tonight. It is really going to feel fantastic. Down to 65 degrees as you are waking up early Wednesday morning. Low humidity, mostly sunny for the afternoon with highs near 86 and up to 88. Still dry on Thursday under mostly sunny skies.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it's 8:06 Tuesday morning. Johnny Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. The big, beautiful bill is continuing to be changed and voted on. Ron Johnson, one of the big holdouts in the Senate, has said that he is now a yes vote for the Trump mega bill, if that's what you want to call it. That's, I think, what some are calling it. I thought it was really interesting. There's a deep dive into the popularity of the bill that was done based on a bunch of different polling. And the polling seems to indicate, or at least mainstream media wants to tell you it indicates, that the big, beautiful bill is unpopular with a bunch of Americans. However, in almost every single poll where they asked people what they thought of the big, beautiful bill, they also asked people if they knew a whole lot about what was in it. And most people said no. So they were really answering the question, do I like or not like it, based on the simple idea that it's being passed by Republicans or that President Trump likes it, and also that it's going to cost a lot of money. That is oversimplifying the entirety of this thing and the things that are being changed about it in the Senate specifically. But I do think that that's really interesting, that mainstream media would like you to believe that the bill is inherently unpopular. But then if you dive into some of the actual things that are most specifically, being discussed in it, creating different barriers to Medicaid and Medicare, not to prevent people that deserve it from getting it, but to prevent all the fraud and abuse that exists within that program. Something that's uniquely interesting, given the news report you just heard a bit ago and the, breaking story yesterday kind of throughout the country, that the DOJ had its biggest bust of fraud and abuse of Medicaid and Medicare ever. And several different people in Indiana, I think 13 or so people in Indiana, are being tried with all kinds of crimes in connection to billions of dollars being defrauded from our government through the leniency of our Medicare, Medicaid system, something that we'd like to go away. Also a discussion about making border security better and getting people who are not legally in this country out of this country is still something that Americans overwhelmingly support. There is spending there. One of the biggest things, though, and this is an interesting deep dive a couple other places too, is about the tax cuts and whether or not the tax cuts benefit the poor, the middle class, or the wealthy, the elite. And the answer is yes. It actually benefits everybody. These are tax cuts across the board. There are corporate tax cuts. There's all kinds of things in them. And so, yeah, within that system, it does look like there might be a decent amount of spending. But the thing that people keep not mentioning, and I'm going to keep saying just because it matters, is that if you're President Trump, you see one of the ways to fund all of this incentivizing the United States, to succeed internally is tariffs. You see the money that the government could make off of tariffs as a way to pay back for any of the deficit that's being created. And also all these big giant corporate cuts and whatnot, if they're somewhat tied to creating more domestic product and having things that we sell here at a cheaper cost, it might inevitably be pretty good for all of us if that actually occurs, which you always wait for the proof to actually be in the pudding. But I just find that so interesting that a whole lot of coverage on this topic really simply discusses some of the most overarching messages of it. And a lot of people don't understand the depth of a big, giant bill that has a whole lot of different spending decisions within it, some of which are bad, I would admit, most of which are good, and some of the things the Senate is even plucking out of it. The inability to prevent illegal immigrants from accessing Medicaid and Medicare is something that you would have wanted the Senate to go ahead and be okay with, and they couldn't get that measure passed the way that they needed it to. All right, one other quick thing. I find this interesting as far as just a topic to discuss. Alligator Alcatraz is what they're calling this facility in Florida that might wind up housing a lot of very dangerous people within our country. President Trump will be traveling there. I have both Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, talking about how that's going to be happening. I think it's today that he's traveling there. And then actually Governor Ron DeSantis was talking about it too yesterday, how he's expecting President Trump today. So here's Leavitt first. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to make sure you can actually hear this audio before I hit play again. Let's do this one more time.
On a scheduling note, tomorrow, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located at Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. We hope to see many of you there. The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. Yes. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens.
These are people that we don't want here in the country, people that have done bad things. And also what I think is really interesting about it, and I'll just skip the DeSantis audio, but I'll tell you what he said, is he said if you want to get out of there, you're not going to go anywhere. Once you're in there, it's going to be very, very difficult to leave. That's why they're calling it Alligator Alcatraz. Of course, mainstream media and left-leaning media thinks it's bad somehow because putting people that are dangerous in prison is somehow controversial. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
You were blessed to have a home large enough to raise a family. But now the kids have been on their own for a while, and the house seems a little different. All those rooms are a bit too much to manage. Simple just seems better. Simple Quarters is a company that understands, and they can help you trade in your house for one that's a better fit for this point in your life. A lot of folks don't realize you can trade in your house like you can trade in your car. Simple Quarters will buy your house and help you transition into a new one all at the same time. No double mortgages or months of showing and stress. They streamline the process. Or they'll simply buy your house as is, and you can take the next steps on your own. Simple Quarters is a Christian company committed to making your real estate transitions easier. If you're considering downsizing, Simple Quarters offers both as-is home purchases and a convenient home trade-in option. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Craig East Side. Ramp still closed from eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue because of a crash. Looking at southbound 6570 downtown, stop and go traffic. Michigan Street to the south split, that is a construction delay. Also a crash reported on southbound 6570 after Washington Street. Northbound 65 slowing from Edgewood Avenue to 465, then stop and go traffic south Keystone Avenue into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Save on top brands like Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more during the red, white, and blue sale at Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely throughout the early morning hours today, then gradually becoming sunny, a high of 86. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 69 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I love a place online. It's Reddit. It's Am I the Jerk is how I describe it on the air. Am I the Bleep is how you could describe it, because that's really what the site is. But a person went on there and said that they're in their 50s. It's a woman. She was married for 30 years. She's now divorced. And she's been dating a guy for the past 2.5, 3 years. She says that the thing she doesn't like about him, because mostly this relationship is great, is that he loves to check out younger women when they go out places. It's so bad, in fact, that when they sit together at a table at like a restaurant, he'll turn his chair away from the table to check out people that are at the restaurant that are not her. even if he's still kind of like facing his date, he's also not really facing the table. He's facing other people, which is a weird thing to describe. But she says, is she the jerk or is he the jerk for not liking this one thing and everything else in the relationship being great is his need to constantly check out younger women. The guy is, I assume, also in his 50s.
I was with you, Craig, until you told me he was turning around in his seat to check out other women. At first, I was like, we do the best we can, and we try to ignore those things, and we're pretty good about it if we are devoted to that person. But, man, what's he trying to do? Is he trying to torture this woman? Around a chair, she's 50 and everything. She might not feel the most secure in herself to begin with. And he's like, whoa, look at that. Yoga class just let out, baby. Thank you, Carl.
No, I do have to be honest, Carl, Matt and Carl, it does seem like terrible, honestly terrible, that he would turn his chair at a restaurant to stare at other people.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah, well, and this is also the kind of thing that society doesn't like right now. I don't know if it's because he's like in his 50s that they think it's more okay than a guy like me, who's a little bit younger but still too old to check out younger women, as I'm pretty sure I'm told. Not that it's happened for me specifically, but the internet is very upset when guys like me do this. So I'm kind of surprised that he's so unapologetic about it in general, because it's not usually a winning attitude in 2025. But nonetheless, yeah, I agree with you that you can't turn your chair at a restaurant to stare at people that are not your date.
You see, when I finally get married in my 60s and I'm no longer a bachelor and maybe I can start having kids, siring kids, maybe like around 70 or something, I mean, I'm going to do
a conversation with the woman about siring children. I hope that's how you, like, how many do you think we should sire?
Who wants them, ladies?
Sorry, continue, Matt.
Yeah, I'm really doing this with the plans in the utmost sincerity of not checking out women anymore. Yeah. I don't want to do that, but I don't know if it's capable. Because I do check out women when it's appropriate. And I sure as hell, Craig, I sure as hell don't turn around in the middle of a restaurant in a seat and start gawking at a 20-year-old woman. I don't do that because
you can't do that.
It's going to make her feel really uncomfortable and it's going to make me look like a creep. So whether or not you're with somebody, I would say this is not appropriate behavior. This is not the best thing. Hey, honey, whoa, what'd you take a look at that?
I think it's insane to expect someone not to check out other people. Like, I really do. I think that's human nature. You got to be, discreet about it, because if you're doing it as blatantly as this dude's doing it, you are making a lot of people uncomfortable. Everybody but you apparently is not having a good time in that moment. But like, if an attractive person is walking down the street, glancing at that individual, I think that that's just a human thing. I remember this actually. I feel like I've told this story on the air before, which is weird, but I'll do it again real quick. I remember I was driving with my wife on like a relatively busy, it wasn't a highway, but it was a very busy street in Illinois. And this dude ran by with no shirt on that was absolutely jacked. And my wife could not stop looking at the guy. She couldn't be prevented. And I didn't get mad about it because the dude was obviously going for attention. He was running on a busy street. You don't need to exercise there, bro, and do, your workout in that area. And he was doing it. And she was just like, man, he's like very, very, buff. And I'm like, thank you, honey. This is great. But again, in that atmosphere, she wasn't doing anything wrong. This guy was a surprising human in an element he shouldn't be in, trying to get attention, and it worked.
Did she roll down the window and catcall him? Was she drooling from the corners of her mouth?
She did not.
Okay.
She did not. She started comparing him to the actor who plays Thor, which didn't make me all that happy.
Great, fantastic. There you go.
I know. Yeah, that wasn't the best moment for me. But again, I think that I would have been in more trouble than I was. I was not mad at her for doing it. But if a really scantily clad woman who was in good shape was running down a thoroughfare, I think I would look over and be like, oh, that's something you can't look away from right now.
Well, if she says anything, what you can do is be like, oh, there goes my ex.
Yeah. I think I'll just tell her, remember Thor. And then
that's why I was gawky. She was my ex, and I didn't want to,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. All right. Other things out there that I saw that I thought were interesting. There is a trend on TikTok that's called, what used to be or how things used to be trend, something to that effect. I'm probably not doing it right because obviously I don't spend a lot of time on the platform. But essentially what you do is you show a picture of yourself now, and then you either talk about how 10 years ago things used to be good or used to be much worse for you. This is like you're in really good shape now, and you show a picture of when you used to be overweight, et cetera. And it all plays to certain music. The thing I think is so interesting about this is that it's both roads. Like the people who are celebrating the advances in their life over the last 10 years and the people who are doing the exact opposite and talking about how things quickly fell apart. And I guess the point of the viral trend is supposed to demonstrate how much life can change over a certain amount of time. And it can. You can have ups and downs in life. I just don't know why you'd want to highlight it so aggressively on social media, especially in the negative. To be like, my life has really fallen apart in the last 5 years. Here's some photos and music to ram that home to anybody who's following my posts.
I totally follow you because social media is so narcissistic. And
yes.
I totally get what you're saying here. I do leave one exception. And not all. Right. This is not blanket, but a lot of exception can come from redemption. You know, if somebody was, saying, hey, I dropped 40 pounds and, I had medical issues and all this, I think that's super cool and it does inspire me. Yeah. It's the one good thing about social media is I love redemption. I love comeback stories. No. I am carrying my driver's license with me. Okay, and this driver's license photo is me bearded and my face is rectangle. And it's just blotchy with red spots all over it. And I'm probably going to keep it for the rest of my life just to remind me that, there was a time when, eating a lot of Bass Bo's pizza. Let's just say that. And, and I was able to drop a couple of pounds with the help of others. It was really cool. But I think if you're doing something to... of course, you're going to post it for yourself. Of course, you're going to post it for your likes. That's there, but that's going to be there anyways. Maybe if you're doing where somebody can get something out of it, then you're on to something. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool sometimes.
No, I to be honest, Matt, and I want to make sure I'm clear about it, I do like the one where it's a positive, where you're looking back on what's changed over 10 years, and you're like, look at these things that I've improved in my life. I don't like the one where it's a negative, where someone's like, 10 years ago, everything was great for me, and now look at me. Yeah. It seems to be overly, as you said, narcissistic or trying to get some sort of sympathy out there on social media. I would not brag about something going bad in my life via photo and music on social media. That's not the way I'd go about being like, hey, times have changed, and things are tough for me right now. And I do love the people who say, like, if you're in a bad spot, in a few years, things might get better because they did for me. I do like that. I just think it's so weird that it's both for this trend.
Yeah, and if you're putting out the negativity, I mean, and I know this is morning radio, I don't want to be too dark here, but it's a cry for help. Yes. And you're not going to get that help from TikTok or Facebook, and especially X, baby. It's not going to come your way. And I want that person to get help, but there are ways to do that, and that comes from human-to-human interaction, real life, a phone call, something like that. So, I mean, it can be good and bad. I'm glad you brought it up. I think that's interesting, man. That's
it's weird as far as the trend goes, and you're right about that. You're probably not going to get the help you need from the stranger that you don't know that follows you on social media because they like your posts about your cat and your food. All right, quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. Matt's got traffic.
All right, Craig, southbound 6570 crash at Washington Street, blocking the right lane, and traffic is stop and go again back to the north split. This whole area has been a tough one this morning. This construction zone on I-65. Please be careful on this south side narrow construction zone. Ramp still closed. It runs from eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue. That is shut down because of a crash. East side northbound 465 slow off 70 up to Penn Pike. Inbound 69 dragging at edge from 96th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Save on top brands like Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more during the red, white, and blue sale Grand Appliance. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
And Nigel's show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Independence Week continues. Jeff Boggs will join us, and the biggest stories in Indy. 93 WIBC.
Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth, it comes to investing, I thought I was good in relation to my retirement capital. Trajan Wealth gave it a second look, and I was so wrong about so many things, my words only. I was missing huge opportunities. Now my path to retirement is clear, all because I got a second opinion from Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors. Call today. Schedule your first appointment. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. You see, Trajan, they're fiduciaries, which means they'll put your needs first. I trust them with my future, and you should too. They offered me straight talk, no sales pitch, and their advice is built around what's best for you. Call today and learn more. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
The Indiana Derby is one of the best days of summer. It's the state's biggest horse racing event with over $1 million in total purse money on the line. This is Racing Rachel inviting you to Horseshoe, Indianapolis, Saturday, July 5th for all the fun. The 31st running of the Indiana Derby has a loaded race card with 8 stakes races featuring some of the nation's top 3-year-old thoroughbreds. And off track at Horseshoe Indy, we've got loads of other Derby Day entertainment for fans too, like a free cigar rolling station for the first 500 people, $1,000 hat contest, a handicapping contest, plus mega bet drawing, magic mirror selfie station, food trucks, and more. All ages are welcome, plus admission and parking are free. First race goes off at noon, rain or shine, with plenty of seating both indoors and out. So join us for the 31st running of the Indiana Derby, July 5th at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, just off I-74 in Shelbyville. Come on out and have a day.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Hammer and Nigel show, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Independence Week continues. Jeff Boggs will join us, and the biggest stories in Indy. 93 WIBC.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What President Trump had to say. The rain has moved out. You now have a cloudy sky. 75 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 87 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31.
The Republicans have their heart in it. The Democrats they just want to destroy our country. A Democrat wants to destroy the country. They won't vote on it. They don't vote on anything. This is the biggest tax cut in history.
That's President Trump speaking on the South Lawn just a couple of minutes ago about what he calls his one big, beautiful bill. He also took a swipe at Elon Musk, saying that the reason Musk doesn't support the bill is because he didn't get his way.
Shows you the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car.
And the Senate has been talking about this bill all night long in what they call a vote-a-rama, where they propose change after change after change. President Trump says he wants to sign that bill by July 4th. The jury in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs will continue to deliberate against him today. Here's Fox's Gurnell Scott.
Following 5.5 hours of discussion Monday, the jury of 8 men and 4 women will have a full day to talk about the case. Combs faces 5 charges, 1 for racketeering and 2 counts each of sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, and transportation for prostitution. Not long after being given instructions Monday, the judge was given word that a juror had issues following them. A second note asked to clarify drug distribution legally as it relates to the racketeering count. Combs is facing up to life in prison should he be convicted. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
If you smoke cigarettes, today is a good day to quit because Indiana's cigarette tax has just doubled.
I just think it's another thing to screw over the middle class, the working people. I just think it's kind of wrong. We're already paying outrageous money for everything else.
And the state's health department says about 14.5% of adults in Indiana smoke cigarettes. That audio credit from Wish TV. Indianapolis cops arrested a person twice in 2 days. Jake McDaniel explains about what happened in downtown Indianapolis.
Ajon Hall was seen wearing a face mask, threatening people with a gun, and carrying a backpack to try to hide his guns. Officers say they spotted Hall walking into a parking garage. They chased after him and caught him. Hall then threw his backpack down between two buildings before he was arrested. Police later found out he was out of jail. He threatened to kill people and was spotted with another gun in his car. Hall faces several criminal charges. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Gas prices going up again this morning. $3.23 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. That's up 14 cents from where it was last week. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The WNBA Commissioner's Cup is on the line tonight when the 8-8 Indiana Fever take on the 14-2 Minnesota Lynx. Fever forward Aaliyah Boston said Monday the prize money is pretty good.
Yeah, that's the goal right here. I mean, when there's money on the line, what else are you looking at?
Yeah, the compensation is about $500,000 for the winning team. Each player gets $30,000, and the game's MVP takes home an additional $5,000. Tip-off tonight, Minnesota at 8 o'clock. Last night in Boston on the FanDuel Sports Network.
Sends this ball again to center field. Rafaela again in steep retreat, and that is gone. The hammer from Hayes straight away. Solo shot, his 7th of the year.
Cincinnati Reds designated hitter Austin Hayes dials long distance, but it was not enough as the Reds get blown out in Boston by the Red Sox 13-6. They're back at it tonight at 7:10 at Fenway Park. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us, Matt Bear?
Well, Ryan, we're checking out the east side where a ramp is still closed because of a crash. It runs from eastbound 70 to Keystone Avenue at that interchange with both Rural and Keystone. The exit to Rural is just fine. It's the one to Keystone that's shut down right now because of a crash. South side northbound 65 slows after South Keystone Avenue past to Raymond Street because of construction. East side northbound 465 stop and go after 70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we're going to have rain throughout the day today, a high of about 86 degrees. And right now in downtown Indianapolis, the temperature is 69. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. The Idaho story from the other day where the firefighters were shot and ambushed by a 20-year-old piece of, I can't say the last part of that sentence on the air, but piece of crap, I guess is what I'll go with. It's a horrific, awful story. It deserves to be at the forefront of the news that we're talking about right now. They actually named the two victims, the two veteran firefighters who died. I'm not going to give out the name of the shooter. I will give out the name of the two people who lost their lives in this. That would be a fire and rescue chief, Frank Harwood, who was 42 years old, and battalion chief, John Morrison, who's 52 years old. Their families don't get to have their loved one return home, and this is horrific. The reason that this should be a focal point of conversation in our society is partly because of how society has rejected so many of the things that we used to do well, which was thank our first responders for their willingness to run at danger as we walk away, or as we run away. Firefighters were the unique exception to the rule. Cops had all kinds of political things happen and discussion about it. Firefighters who just fight, fires and don't usually wind up in combat with lone gunmen, for some reason is something that is easier for our society to understand and to, wish well and to thank for the work they do. But nonetheless, the story is still horrific. And I think it does throw to the forefront the need to say thank you to first responders, say thank you to military, cops, firefighters, anyone. Because, again, they put their lives in danger. They put their lives on the line for us and to protect the things that are most important about our society, that it's a safe and free society for us to live in. And so, again, the story about this and the discussions about the gun used or the reasons that the person who had mental health issues and was living in their car would do something like this, they all pale in comparison to acknowledging the loss of life. The two individuals, again, Frank Harwood and John Morrison, who were killed, and the importance of saying thank you to people who do this type of stuff. So I think that the best way for us to move forward, and honestly, the reason I wanted to dedicate an entire kind of segment at the end of the show to talking about this is to, in your own community, thank the people who are putting their lives on the line for you. And do it in whatever way you want. If that's verbally, if they're standing in front of you at some sort of, Starbucks or something and you decide to pay for their drink, whatever that might be, I think that's one of the first things that's missing and needs to come back in our society as a whole, across the board for everyone. That gratitude for those who do this and work these jobs, and the ability to not immediately become critical of things that we see in media or discussions that are had, and then hear idiot politicians like the crazy guy in New York saying how they want to still defund police. That's still a conversation that's happening. And again, these individuals are doing something that most of us are not built to do. Having done a lot of interviews in my radio career with people who work in all those different professions, and actually also like media people who cover that kind of stuff, you know how much of an impact just living that life has on individuals and on their families, even if nothing as horrific as this even happens. Just being someone who jumps into a car and speeds toward danger, and your family is worried the whole time that you're gone until you come home safely, is in of itself the kind of sacrifice that we don't seem to realize or don't seem to appreciate enough in society right now for those who don't do it. And less people are built for this too. I will say that in our society today, it feels like there's a whole lot less individuals who would want to behave this way, and a whole lot more people who'd want to be the people running away from danger. So even more so, we should be thankful to those who do this and do it as bravely and as, patriotically as individuals do. And honestly, just before the 4th of July, it even makes more sense to have this be a focal point of maybe a family conversation of some kind. You sit down, you have a cookout, you're having fun, you're enjoying a lot of the things that are important about this country and the society we live in. And maybe you need to mention to your kids, your loved ones, how grateful you need to be to the individuals who do so much to keep us safe. And it's just a horrific, horrific story, as I said. And one more time, to acknowledge the 2 lives lost in Idaho that were attacked by a lone gunman who set up a fire to shoot people, to kill people, John Morrison and Frank Harwood, and anyone else in the community in Indianapolis or elsewhere that rushes toward danger. Thank you. A quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Indiana law provides legislators with certain immunities from civil arrest during specific periods.
Facts on the table.
What year is this? 1872?
Feelings to the side.
They have to have a special law so that they don't go off the deep end.
And whatever nonsense needs calling out.
But yet, trust them when they say they're looking out for your best interest.
Kendall and Casey.
These people are on the up and up when it comes to voting for us.
Weekdays from 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
It's Terry Stacy. How many of you started the year with good intentions of losing weight and getting in shape by spring? Well, if you didn't hit that goal, Exercise Inc. can help. Exercise Inc. has been helping people get stronger, build muscle, lose weight, and transform their health for over 20 years. The program works, and guess what? It only takes 20 minutes a week. Their unique training method was developed in an osteoporosis research study to help prevent bone mineral loss in older women. The women in the study ended up getting very strong in a short amount of time. When the method was applied to normal, healthy adults, both men and women got a lot stronger. Their Simple 9 nutritional Program has helped their clients lose over 37,000 pounds since 2013, and they've seen clients lower their blood pressure, improve their blood sugar, and get off prescription meds. Their coaches are professional. Their gyms are private. Get started now before summer gets here. Locations in Avon, Brownsburg, Fishers, Greenwood, and Zionsville. Change your life in 20 minutes a week. Go to exerciseinc.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
All right, Craig, ramp's still closed on the east side. It's eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue, just north of NDOT, and they are cleaning up a diesel fuel spill on this exit ramp. That's why it's still closed. Again, it's eastbound 72 Keystone Avenue, shut down. No timetable on when that ramp will reopen. On the south side, northbound 65 slow from Keystone Avenue into the south split because of construction. And then on the east side, northbound 465 stop and go off 72 Penn Pike. Eastbound 465 slows before Allisonville Road. Let's go right around 69. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Showers likely, possibly thunderstorms as well throughout the rest of the morning today. Otherwise cloudy and a high of 86. Right now, 69 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Celebrate the 4th at Downtown Indy's 4th Fest, brought to you by UA Local 440. Groove to live music, savor tasty food, and let the kids have a blast at the Jump In Kids Carnival. Then stick around for fireworks powered by the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
Johnny Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. This is the game show theme song thing that we do, the TV show theme song. I know this theme song, but I can't think of the show, which is embarrassing.
Aww.
I know, but I know this. I've definitely heard this a bunch of times.
We have a lifeline right here.
All right, Matt Bear, you want to hop in? It's a very famous, very, very famous show, and I can't think of the name of it for some reason, but I'm picturing it.
Your lifeline's going to give you hints here, okay?
All right.
Super Dave Osborne.
Yep.
Okay, no, it's not. All right. Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes. Yeah, sure. I get it.
Okay.
I get what you're doing now.
Close.
Yeah.
The show's called Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It is. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that was a bad hint. Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. This is good. Yeah. Super Dave Osborne is a nighttime TV show that also, I didn't watch a lot of Curb, but I've heard this show and I've heard that theme song before.
So funny. Oh, my
Yeah,
Lord.
he's good.
So
Yeah,
well
Larry
done.
David, good at stuff. All right, I'm glad it wasn't. I thought it was going to be a more famous show than that. Curb is famous, but it was on the HBO, so not everybody watched it. You know, you got to pay for that.
Right,
all right. Some things out there. I do like this. Caitlin Clark's shoes sold out in minutes. They are a version of a Kobe Bryant shoe that's obviously in honor of Kobe Bryant as well. But Caitlin Clark has a brand new shoe, the Kobe 5, with her own signature added to it. And it's minutes that the store went completely out of these things. The WNBA seems to have no concept of how important Caitlin Clark is to the future success of the WNBA in the way they treat her. But time and again, you're seeing the value of this individual played out for everybody. I know she's going to be one of the captains of the All-Star team. I know that she might not play tonight because she's got a groin injury. But Caitlin Clark, in and of herself, might make the WNBA relevant to more and more people. She already has, but could continue to do this. And obviously succeeding in a bunch of different ways. The latest one is the shoe thing.
I mean, I never bought Jordans, but I'd totally wear Clarks. I mean, that's the truth. I would totally wear Caitlin Clark endorsed
You would wear a
tennis
woman's shoe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's the Caitlin Clark, absolutely. And if it's comfortable, yeah, why not?
I don't think it'd be comfortable as a man.
You'd wear a man's shoe, but the one modeled after the Caitlin Clark shoe. Okay.
Obviously, I'm not going to be wearing, women's sizes on my feet. That doesn't work,
That won't work. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Here's something to your point about the WNBA not liking Caitlin Clark, and the Star had this story.
Yeah.
It's talking about how she was voted 9th best guard in the WNBA by WNBA players.
Insane. It's insane.
What are you doing, dude?
And honestly, and I'm not trying to bash women's basketball by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't watch a lot of it. But if I see highlights, they're Caitlin Clark highlights on any sort of form of social media, because she does take logo threes to an insane degree for anybody playing basketball in any sort of professional thing. And that's amazing. You watch it wow, nobody else is doing that. And that makes her one of the most elite in her profession. And I do think people who say that she should go start her own league sort of kind of have a point. If she does keep getting treated like crap and keep getting technical fouls when she gets shoved to the ground, there might be a day where Caitlin Clark starts the Caitlin Clark League and a lot of people watch it.
I think Caitlin Clark's going to lose a lot of money if she does that, at least at first. I mean,
I don't think so.
WNBA is NBA. Yeah, she'll still get the endorsements. I understand that. But you're looking at the WNBA as something that's already attached to this established brand, this established professional basketball brand. And I just imagine that's just not going to come together as quickly as you think it is. I mean, look at the XFL. Look at some of these other leagues that were just started up as rivals to the NFL. I mean, you're still making that competition. I would love to see it happen. I think it would be a lot of fun, and more competition is better. But this is something that just can't immediately take place. It's going to take a little bit of time.
No, I know. I got to be honest, though, man. I'd like to see her play against dudes. I don't know that she'd actually, be good in the NBA. I'm not trying to say that she should go try to be a pacer, but I do think that she would be a very good player against some very elite competition, and they might be guys. And I think that would be interesting to see, and maybe even more interesting for people to watch her do well against, semi-pro basketball players that are dudes compared to what's going on and it's not because women's basketball is and of itself not entertaining or something, but it's the way they're treating her. If you watch the sport at all, I don't mean to harp on this or get on the soapbox toward the end of the show. It's crazy. It's crazy to see someone that this good, this potential, for bringing eyes to the sport that seems so disliked by so many of the players in her league. It's insane.
I just want to see her bury a 3 in Jalen Brunson's face. I think that'd be awesome. Seriously, I would love to see that. Jalen Brunson, who plays for the Knicks, who the Pacers beat in the end.
It'd be amazing. I think she could do pretty well. I don't know, again, if the elite level of the NBA would be a fair competition for her, but there's places where I think she'd do pretty well. And as a three-point shooter, who knows? I mean, it's not like every player in the NBA is a giant 6'10" dude. There are players who are small and make a lot of shots. All right, other things out there before we get out of here. I thought this was interesting. There is a list on Reddit of harmless things you do that actually hurt you. A lot of them are serious, like negative self-talk, staying in bad relationships, but a couple of them are hilarious. One is sitting on the toilet too long. This is something you should not do, especially if you're using your phone on the toilet. Yep, because it's training your body to not actually go while sitting on said toilet, and you don't want that. You want to be able to take the quick trip if necessary. I do like this one, that you need to take less time in the restroom for most of us.
I mean, you're going to be sitting on your phone whether you're on the toilet or not, so why does it matter?
True.
I mean,
yeah, why do it on the toilet, though?
I remember it was a Academy Award-winning movie called Lethal Weapon 2. And,
absolutely.
Danny Glover is sitting on the toilet, and his legs went numb, and he had to have help getting off the toilet, and then the toilet exploded. So, I mean, I've known this ever since I watched that movie, Craig. It's
Correct.
right there.
The Academy Award-winning Lethal Weapon 2.
That was fantastic.
Multiple Academy Awards.
I mean, right up there with...
Right.
I should have been a contender, Marlon Brando.
Right. Yeah, no, Roger Murtaugh by himself is the type of character most people want to play in movies today.
No, right?
Most people are like, I hope I get that Roger role at some point in my life because it's going to be big. Fantastic reference, Matt Bear. Thank you, as always, you guys. You guys are a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. We'll be back tomorrow. We can do traffic and get out of here. See you guys later. Craig Collins filling in on Tony Katz, The Morning News.
All right, Craig, we're looking at the east side of eastbound 70 going to Keystone Avenue. That ramp is still closed, and I checked